In this video, I'm gonna show you my favorite neighborhood in all of Lakewood, Colorado. Actually, all of the Denver metro area. Let's go. And for this video, I actually have someone that's gonna be helping me. Her name is Athena. Athena, come here. Say hi. And so I'm just gonna be walking her, and at the same time I'm doing this video, which is the first reason why I love this neighborhood so much, is that I can actually run errands and without a car. I'm actually running 2 errands today, and I just figured I was gonna, get the camera out and record it. So I'm actually going to the library, I'm returning a book, and that's where we're going now. So let's head that way. In addition to having the library close by, that's actually one of the places where you can go in and boat. Athena, what are you doing? And so it's just cool that I can get to do all of the things that I need without the car. Of course, I have a car, but that's for the longer trips or for showings. But it's just nice knowing that I don't have to have it. And well, one of the other things too, I'm not somebody who likes to accumulate stuff. I typically throw away a ton of stuff. So having the library close by is super important for me, because I read a ton every day. It's part of my routine, and I just don't want to have books laying around. Most of the times I won't read it 2 times. So there's been some books that I read 2 or 3 times, but the norm is I just read it and then I throw it away. So having the library, it's super important for me. If you want to make your move to Denver, Colorado a success, you gotta subscribe. So not only is this neighbor walkable, but there is a ton of shops around. There is grocery stores, there's a dentist, there's gyms, Burlington, Ross, Petco. So if you're like me and you need a ton of these different stores in your life just for your daily living, this is, in my opinion, one of the best neighborhoods. Now I'm actually going to show you the government office, which is within walking distance, but that's not important, of course, unless you have to do a lot of documents through the government, the city government. And I don't know if you guys realize, but there's some snow on the side of the road, but not on the road. So I just want to point out we had snow maybe 2 days ago, and by now it's completely clear. So that's one of the things that I really love about here that might not be as cold. I'm using gloves because of course it's gonna be a long time walking Athena. So typically if your concern is the way you drive, or the roads are really bad, or like I lived in some places where it would snow for the first time in October and it would be all the way snowed until April. So Denver's not like that, which is something I really enjoy. So we're getting close. And one of the things that I really like about this library is that pickup locker, because you make your order online and then you can come anytime and pick up your book in the locker. So it's super convenient, and you can also return it right there. Now we're gonna go to Athena's favorite park, at least what I think it's her favorite park. So just for reference, the library is right there, the park is right here. It's literally behind the library, and she loves the snow, so we're gonna see if we can get some good action shots. One thing I love about this park is that it just has some incredible views of the mountains. Maybe not incredible, but for city living, which of course we still have all of the conveniences of the cities, we just have some awesome views of the mountains. I don't think it really gets captured in the camera, but it's just beautiful to just come out and walk. Not only does Athena love this park, I also love this park, and the reason is because of this. There's a lot of events that happen here during the summer. Sometimes they have like movie at the park, and you just bring your lawn chair or your yoga mat, you sit on the little hill that you see here. They put a big projector and we're all watching a movie. Or sometimes they have concerts, they have like Earth Day, what else? So many events. Oh, and during the summer they actually have a series of concerts. It's like once a week, every Wednesday, for like 7 weeks in a row, and they're relatively inexpensive, but still you can actually sometimes hear the concerts from outside of the park. So sometimes even where I live I can hear them. There's actually another event that I forgot. It's Christmas. They actually have Christmas lights in this park, and it does have a price. I can't really remember, maybe $10-15 per person, and it is just a huge display of Christmas lights, in my opinion even better than some of the ones that the city of Denver puts. So of course this is Lakewood and it's different jurisdiction. In my opinion it's a little better. So now we're on the other side of the road, and we actually have my favorite fast food restaurant, which is Chick-fil-A. Of course, it's like 1 p.m. right now, so it's packed. But on the other side, we actually get to see some townhomes. So that kind of tells you how the people that live in this area are. You really want to be close to everything that you need. We actually have a Target right over there, and then some Whole Foods and Mexican restaurants over here. Now I'm right behind Target, so Target's on this side, and you might just say, hey, this is just a parking lot, what are we doing here? And I would agree with you for the most part, but just wanted to tell you, last year we actually had the 4th of July celebrations in this parking lot. So we had a drone show, not fireworks, but there was a band, like live bands all day. And if you live here, it's just nice that you don't have to worry about having a designated driver or anything of the matter. And there's also a ton of events in this side of the road. On the other side in the park, there's events on this side. I'm actually just arriving to Belmar Plaza, the very center of the plaza, so let me show you. So we arrived, and right in this building there's kind of like farmer market events, like bigger events like Valentine's, and forget the other one, but there's 2 or 3 a year. And in this plaza there's the actual farmers market every weekend, every Saturday on during the summertime. And in the winter they actually convert this into an ice skating ring. So it just has some multiple uses depending on the time of the year. Now on this side we have a brewery, we have an Indian restaurant, we have a Japanese restaurant, and a movie theater. So even that is available in this area. And right behind me is one of the higher rated sub restaurants in all of Denver, Colorado. And just to show you, on the other side we have Lululemon, so a little bit of everything here. Now you might think this is all shops and restaurants in this area, but that's not the case. Actually, I'll tell you a story real quick. I have an issue on my shoulder, and I was going to the physical therapist, which is right in this area. And for some reason I didn't put it on my calendar. Typically my calendar is what I use to go to appointments and everything, so I'm constantly on it, but I must have missed it. And they called me, and they're like, 5 minutes after my appointment time, and they say like, hey, are you coming? And like, I had no idea I had this appointment, and I said, can you wait 5 minutes? And she's like, yeah. So I just started running. Of course, not the ideal. I should have put it on my calendar, but it just tells you that's the flexibility that you have when you're living close to all of these things. And now that I'm on this topic, I'm gonna tell you another story from, sorry, Athena. What are you doing? From Bar Louie. So a few years ago on New Year's Eve, we were gonna go to a New Year's party with some friends at their house, and we just had a ton of snow that it was just impossible to drive. I think it took us over 15 minutes to go 1 mile. And at some point that I told my wife, like, we got to go back. So we went back home, and we just walked in the snow to Bar Louie, and that's where we had our New Year's. And we just had a great time. And I just know that if I was to live somewhere else where I didn't have these advantages, I couldn't walk to the bar, we would just have had that New Year's Eve at home. By that time it was already past dinner, so I don't know what we would even do. Maybe watch people celebrating on TV, I don't know, but we did get to celebrate and it was super fun. So again, one of the advantages of living here. Now, of course, I've been telling you about all of the things I love about this neighborhood, but there's some things that I really dislike. If not hate. Hate is a very strong word, but one of the things is someone tried to steal my car. So of course that's not a good thing. It was during the night, and then I called the police. They never showed up, even though they're closed. They didn't show up. I just made a video a few days ago where I was talking about the crime, and in Denver, Colorado, we actually have the third highest crime when it comes to car theft, and I was actually a victim of it, and I want to show you what happened to me so that it will not happen to you. Let's see. Well, first, I broke into the window, and they somehow got this out of the wheel, and I can no longer put the key into the ignition. It's all a big mess. And not only that, but they made a mess of my car. The way you can avoid this is you gotta have an alarm in your car. You gotta have good insurance. Thankfully, I had insurance, so I only had to pay the deductible. It's gonna be about $500. If you can't have a dash cam, that would be ideal, especially if you can set it up to send you notifications if something's going on in your car. And the statistics say most of the times it's gonna be a Kia or a Hyundai. So if you have one of those cars and you're moving to Denver, Colorado, it's probably a good idea to sell it and buy a car here. I wish I had done that. This is a temporary fix that we had to do so that before the insurance comes and takes the car to the place where it's going to be fixed, we just don't want water or anything else to come into the car. So this is one quick way to protect it, but of course it's not a long-term solution. Now, another thing that I wouldn't say I dislike, but it has its pros and cons within itself, is that Lakewood wasn't planned. So as you can see, I'm gonna show you later on, but you can literally go to the other side of the road and it's the wrong road. So that's something you don't want to do, but it can have its pros. If you want to live close to this area, you would just go to the other side of the road and you could qualify for many more programs, some of them even 0% down. So it has its advantages, but also its disadvantages. So I don't fully dislike that one. Now, this is an unofficial dog park. People just come here and put their dogs off leash, even if it's next to the road, but that's kind of what it came to. I don't think it was intentional, but that's how the residents do it. The third thing I don't like, it's the schools, and I'm not trying to steer you in any way. This is from public information. In fact, I don't even care because I don't have kids at the moment. But if you have kids, you should really look into the school rankings. I use niche.com, but also greatschools.org. Those are great resources so that you can find the school that's right for your kids. The fourth thing is that everything closes early in this area except for Bar Louie. So sometimes we have cravings at night, and you know, we have a store, I don't want to say names, but let's just say Chick-fil-A. They close 9 p.m. in this area, but the one in downtown might be like at midnight. I'm just making stuff up. So then you would do a DoorDash, and you know, you think you have Chick-fil-A in the corner and it's gonna take 10 minutes. You should probably walk, but of course, just example. But then it takes an hour. And it's like, why does it take so long? And then you look at the map and they're in downtown Denver. So that's one of the things that it's a con if you like living the nightlife. It doesn't really impact me, honestly, but I know some of my clients, they don't like that. And of course, state-wise, you're gonna have this issue. So if you're moving to Colorado, you're gonna have to deal with marijuana. Again, it's one of those things. It has pros and cons within it. Some people are very respectful. They keep to themselves. They do it at home, and then some people do it in public. It's unfortunate, but something that people do. Another one is going to be the altitude and dryness. So sometimes even just walking can feel a little hard on you. And I stay in relatively good shape throughout the year. Try my best to do that. And sometimes just Athena pulling and I'm just talking to the camera, like I can get a little out of breath. So it's something that we have to deal here, the altitude and the dryness. So a lot of people have moisturizer cream all day. They just put it like in the shower. Other people have a what's the name? Humidifier. They have a humidifier at home, and or if they have a baby, like they put it on the baby's room. So it can be a little hard on the skin, but again, for me it's not really a big deal, but it is for some people. Now we've covered a lot of what's like living in this area. Now let's go to the office and I'm gonna show you with more detail everything that's in this area and the styles of living. Let's go. Hey guys, now let's jump into the map and I'm gonna show you exactly where I went. Let's go. So of course this is the map of Denver, Colorado, and I actually went into a neighboring city, which is Lakewood, and it might seem like it's a little far, but in reality it's about a 15-minute drive to downtown Denver from downtown Lakewood. So the tour actually, if we zoom in right over here, we actually started right here. Practically everything you need for your daily living in this area. And I was thinking to myself, is that real? Like, is there anything that I do have to drive to get to? And I actually came up with one: Costco. Every time I go to Costco, I need to drive. It's about a 15-minute drive. But I'm just thinking, and honestly, there isn't any other items that I need to drive. I did drive to Lowe's a few weeks ago. We do have a Home Depot close by, but they didn't have the piece that I needed. So basically, in the last 3 weeks, everything that I've needed, it's over here within a 1-mile walking distance, except for Costco and Lowe's. So I'm gonna actually be keeping track of it, and I'll let you guys know in future videos if I come up with other stores. But we just moved again, and even hiring internet, like the internet company, it's right there. Honestly, I think we have everything, but don't quote me. In future videos, I'm gonna see if that is true or not. So let's go back to the map. So we started in this area, and then I kind of walked through here, and as you can tell, so we started the tour over here in this area, and then we kind of went down and I walked this way. Here's where the library is. So I show you that. And then if we zoom out, like I was mentioning it, the park, it's right behind the library. And then I crossed the street. I went over here to the Office Depot area, the Chick-fil-A, the Target, and we ended up at the Cinemark, which is over here in this area. Just one of the items that I wanted to point out, like the reason why we're going into the map is because I want you to see how close everything is. But not only that, there are other benefits of living in this area. So as you can tell, going back to the marker, the Home Depot is in this area, the one I was saying. But anyways, that's not what I meant to say. There is this road called Alameda, and it is a very important road because it actually separates two different neighborhoods. It separates North Alameda, which is right here at the top, and South Alameda, which is at the bottom. And the reason it's important is because North Alameda and South Alameda are very different when it comes to financing. There is a lot of programs that you would qualify for when you want to live in North Alameda that are not available for South Alameda. But as you can tell, it's all in the same vicinity. So there is a lot of advantages of buying in North Alameda. There's programs, I mean, last time I checked, which was a few months ago, there was a 0% down program for North Alameda that it wasn't available for South Alameda. So of course, and these things change all the time. So who knows, whenever you watch this video, it's still possible. But it is so important to recognize that this is a big advantage if you're looking to get into a home with as little down as possible. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is I mentioned that Lakewood isn't really planned, so now I'm gonna show you with the map. So if we go back here to the South Alameda area, you'll see this street called Harlan Street. And if you zoom in, you'll notice that the properties over here in this area, again, they are a little bigger than the others. So this is your typical neighborhood. And you can even tell kind of like the size of the houses in that neighborhood. And my mouse is failing me, so that's why it's a little broken. But over here in this area, you see some of the bigger homes. These are actually zoned a little different. Some of these properties have horses, chickens. I know someone who wanted to have a huge dog park, like private dog park for dog training. So that's really cool. And that's gonna be over in this area by West Virginia and Defew Street, Center Avenue. That area, it's kind of like a little bit of everything. There is like a farm next to some apartments, next to some businesses. And again, this is one of the cool things that you can use to your advantage. And if you don't like that, there's other alternatives as well. Like if we go to the other side of Wadsworth, which is this street right here. So over here, there are some incredible houses over here in this area. It has some of the fanciest houses in the area, and there's some townhomes in this area. So, and also townhomes in this area and single family homes. So again, my mouse is failing, but anyways, all that to say, whatever kind of living you're looking for, apartment living or condo living and being close to everything, if you're looking for a townhome, single family home, or maybe even an upgrade to your current home, this is an area that basically has all kinds of living. And of course, within that, it does have its own pros and cons. I think if you know how to exploit that, it's gonna be mostly good. If you made it this far into the video, you clearly liked it. Otherwise, you will then waste your time. So I'm gonna ask you to comment, like, subscribe, and thank you so much. See you later. Let me know in the comments down below what areas you want to see next. And also, if you're moving to Lakewood, Colorado this year, you gotta check out this playlist right here.